Hello, St. Paul's. Happy New Year and Happy Epiphany. We are now in the season after Epiphany, when we celebrate the recognition of the Saviour by the Gentiles, the broadening of God's promise to include all of humanity in the plan of salvation. Nearly 20 years ago, when John Chain served as dean, St. Paul's began to offer a regular service in Spanish for our Spanish-speaking neighbours. This ministry has been served by a number of clergy over the years, some Latino and some Anglo. The attendance has fluctuated, depending in part on how much time a given priest had to focus on congregational development. Until the middle of 2019, St. Paul's maintained a part-time position for a bilingual priest to pastor the Spanish-speaking group. Since my arrival in 2014, the Reverend Bjorn Markussen, the Reverend Colin Matthewson, and the Reverend Carlos Exposito have served in that capacity. However, there came a point when we could no longer afford that additional pastoral position, and so I took over as primary pastor for the Spanish-speaking parishioners. At that time, a little over 2 years ago, the average attendance at that service was around 45. Then, the pandemic hit. Throughout 2020 and well into 2021, we offered weekly Spanish services of the Word on Zoom and on Facebook Live, but barely a handful of people participated. When we came back to in-person worship in May last year, we had great hopes of rebuilding the congregation, but sadly the attendance has stayed at about 12 to 15, including staff. We've tried various types of publicity to bring in new families: banners, newspaper ads, Facebook posts, and flyers on car windshields. But we have not been successful in attracting new members or in luring back most of the former members. The faithful few who have continued to attend are burned out and discouraged. A few weeks ago we got together to discuss what to do, and the upshot of that meeting was a reluctant decision to discontinue the weekly Spanish service for now in favour of periodic cultural celebrations, which we hope will attract both Latino and Anglo families. Several of our major feast days will include a bilingual service too. It makes my heart ache to let go of the dream of a flourishing Spanish-speaking ministry in this cathedral that is so close to the Mexican border. But it simply doesn't make sense to keep doing what is evidently not working. I hope that the offering of festival celebrations with special music and food will ultimately build interest in a more regular service, but only God knows if that will happen. It may be that our call is to provide a spiritual home for the many families that have Latino connections but speak English at home. We're already seeing an increase in such families at our 10:30 service. I cannot express how grateful I am for the faithful efforts of the leaders of our Spanish-speaking group. Chapter members Martha Curatolo and Gladys Jimenez, preacher Orlando Espin, pastoral assistant Salvador Arce Guerra, musicians Alex and Tanya Tapia, children's minister Maya Littlesanya, usher and altar guild Ricardo Diaz, Carla Chavez, the Hernandez family, and the Guido Gutierrez family, who, by the way, brought their eldest daughter Pamela to be baptized 18 years ago when the Spanish service first began, and who still attend regularly to serve as acolytes. All of these good people have persevered and supported and encouraged this ministry, and they share my sadness at this necessary change. So we will celebrate La Misa en Español on January 16th at 1 p.m. And then there'll be a bilingual 10:30 service on January 23rd for the annual meeting. And then 1 p.m. Spanish service on January 30th and February 6th. And after that, there will be about a half dozen festivals in the course of the year when we will offer a celebration in Spanish. The schedule of Spanish language and bilingual services for 2022 is included in the manuscript version of this message, and you can find it on the Spanish language pages of our website. I hope you'll join us for one or more of them. The service bulletins are all bilingual. The music is wonderful and the preaching is excellent. All are on Sundays, unless otherwise indicated on the list. See you on Sunday.